Christa Freehands. My art outlet is anything really, but mainly painting, acrylic painting specifically, and I'm from Cleveland. Being from Cleveland means being a hustler, an innovator, and a go-getter. I've pretty much been doing art like my entire life. I don't remember not doing art, but I probably started taking it a lot more seriously around like 2016. Started teaching myself how to really paint, like paint technically and draw technically. And I feel like my upbringing, just the fact that my mom had us doing a lot of arts and crafts, a lot of things to keep us distracted and keep us focused while she was trying to do things around the house, is pretty much what drove me and kept me sticking with art. My cultural upbringing would probably be that had that played a big part in like what I do and how I maneuver through what I do. It's probably just growing up in Baptist church. It's real like family oriented, community oriented, and it makes me want to showcase that through my work, not necessarily religiously, but just the family and community aspect of it, just showcasing how important it is to have a community when you're building things like just building a brand or just building a space for other people, like-minded people to create. My work, especially like my beginning works, highlight a lot of mental health and just expressing mental health. I feel like it's not talked about enough, especially like in the Black community. We're taught to kind of deal with things and brush things off, bury things a little bit, and just deal with things as if we're just like machines. And it causes a lot of like mental trauma for people. And it's not even noticed or seen sometimes because a lot of us are just so good at hiding it. I like my art to be one of those things that kind of speak to people who are experiencing that, because I ignored a lot of things for a minute just because it felt like the right thing to do, just brush it off and deal with it later and focus. But started tapping into like mental health, different, sometimes I tap into different political views depending on what the viewpoint is, not always, but if I feel like it's something that speaks to me, I will. And even just like things that we like that keep us grounded, like fashion, mainly fashion, honestly. Yeah, I tap into a lot with fashion, like speaking how I'm feeling. A lot of it comes through fashion, actually. I can't even really think of another one right now. Yeah, I wanted to work and get like a job, make money, but I had a hard time just like enjoying what I was doing when I would get jobs. Like, I had a hard time wanting to be there. I had a hard time wanting to connect with coworkers. I just had a hard time having interest, period. And I know I'm a hard worker, so I started trying to figure out how I could do something I liked and still be able to work. And I just started figuring out that, I draw all the time and I want to know how to paint. So maybe I should like teach myself how to paint, because people sell paintings all the time and people pay me to draw this and people pay me to draw that. So maybe I should learn how to paint. And then I just started practicing with it. And I wanted more for myself. I wanted an apartment, I wanted a house. I wanted an apartment, I wanted a car. I just wanted to be able to have my own things, but I wanted to be able to also enjoy where and what I had to do to, make the money. I wanted to like my job. I feel like it's given me the motive to really tap into a lot of different ideas that I have. It makes me feel like I can at least try to articulate some of the ideas that I see floating around and make a blueprint for them and at least go after them in some type of way, even if it's not with this program. It's just the fact that there are programs like this. It gives you a little bit of excitement to try for something that maybe seemed like impossible, because you don't know where you're going to get the funds, or you don't really understand how to, like, if you did have the funds, you don't necessarily understand how to map them out and where to put what and what to invest in. I feel like it's an opportunity for creatives to learn a little bit of that and get into that business mindset without feeling like we have to just rely on other people and the information that they give us about how we should run a business or how an art program should go. It's an opportunity for us to kind of dive in there ourselves. Yeah. I feel like being a self-taught artist already kind of puts you in a bubble that you're not like as good as other people or other artists that went to school. It's really hard to sell yourself when you're a self-taught artist. So it's a certain level of hustle and mentality you have to be able to pretty much convince people that even though you don't have the like traditional credentials, that you're still a proper candidate for this opportunity. And I feel like that probably is one of the point of views I come from when I'm thinking about artists running the streets. I think a lot of the artists that we see doing like big things didn't necessarily have a traditional, like, they didn't have a traditional start to it. A lot of us, it's a good amount of us that did, but it's also a lot of us that just decided to try it. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with going to school. I want to go to school eventually, like once I know what I want to do. But it's like, I also don't see a problem with teaching yourself how to do something you like. If you really care enough about what you're interested in, you'll teach yourself how to do whatever. I'm really hoping to be somebody that can give opportunity to people who didn't have opportunities in the beginning, or even like to people that were more like me who wanted opportunities and kept like asking for them, but like I said, because they didn't see you doing enough before, they don't know like enough about who you are to not really want to go there. I would really like to be somebody that either has a space for people to come through and stretch their legs creatively, or be able to give opportunities to people to really stretch their legs creatively. I chose my subject matters based off of my personal upbringing, which was a lot of people in my family were like tradesmen or blue collar workers. My father was a mechanic. He was a volunteer firefighter. He worked at Ford for years. He's an engineer. Like, he's like a true tradesman, but he also like always had multiple ways to get it. So it's like, it's just like, and then even though I didn't go to school, he always pushed like, well, if you're not going to go to school, learn a trade, because trades are always around, trades are always needed. And I feel like people forget about trade workers. It's almost like, I don't know, I think people forget like who turns their gas on, who keeps their water running, who comes and picks up their trash, who keeps trash off of the street. Like, that's a tradesman who puts out your fires. Like, I don't think people really sit there and think of how seamlessly some communities run because of trade workers. And even just getting your nails done, your hair done, I mean, that's a trade. So I just have a certain appreciation for them. So I wanted to highlight that through this opportunity, especially because like a lot of tradesmen are black. Like, a lot of us are, garbage men, mechanics. It's a good amount of black firefighters. Like, it's a lot of roles that we play in the community that keep the community running. So I thought it'd be a dope thing to highlight. Honestly, just do it. I feel like if you have an idea or if you have a feeling, or if you have something you want to express that speaks to who you are as a person, your upbringing, your heritage, I think the first step is just like doing it. Even if it's just writing down the idea, doing a vision board of the idea, just doing a sketch of the type of project you want to do. I think like the biggest step to being a creative and an expressive creative is just doing it. And I think a lot of us have like cold feet with doing it because we feel like we have to do it right. And there's really no right way to do anything until you've done it. And then you can decide on how you want to tweak it, how you want to improve it, what to take away from it. But yeah, just do it. The sooner the better, because like there's no point of dragging ass if you got an idea. My name is Christa Freehands, and I'm from Cleveland.